Good afternoon. We're going to go ahead and start because I think we do have a quorum. 1, 2, 3, 4. So good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. I am Sharon Green Middleton, Vice President of the City Council, representative for the 6th Council District, and Chairperson for the Economic and Community Development Committee. This afternoon, we will hear the following bills: 23-0389, 23-0390, 23-0404, and 23-0405. In attendance today, we have members of the committee: John Bullock of the 9th District, Ryan Dorsey of the 3rd District, Odette Ramos of the 14th District,
Madam Chair.
and representatives for the Council President Office. We have Aaron DeGraffery, General Counsel. Representative for the Mayor's Office, we have Sophia G. And the first two bills are voting sessions. We have already heard those bills. And so let's begin with Bill number 23-0389, the Transit-Oriented Development, Reisterstown Plaza. And that was for the purpose of supporting a state transit-oriented development designation for Reisterstown Plaza, the area surrounding and including the Reisterstown Plaza Metro Subway Link Station, and providing for a special effective date. This bill was introduced on May 15th, 2023. The sponsor was President Mosby on behalf of the administration. And the committee heard reports from the agencies at the first hearing on the bill. And I don't think we have anything from agency representatives to add before we vote. And hearing and seeing none. The committee also had public testimony at the first hearing on the bill. And do members have any comments or questions on this particular bill? And hearing none. And we also have a member of the committee joining us, Councilman Glover of the 13th District.
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Yes.
This is Jeff Hochsteller from the Law Department. I just wanted to make sure the committee had seen the amendments. Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion for the Law Department's amendment for the, Jeff, if you just want to quickly review what that amendment was before we vote on the amendment, so the committee can be refreshed.
Sure. They were two minor amendments. One, to eliminate a reference to an executive order of the governor, which wasn't relevant, and one to simply clarify that this was an actual designation of the council, not just support for designation, to be consistent with what's required in state law.
Thank you for that. Any questions for Jeff? Is there a motion to move the Law Department's amendments? So moved by Dorsey and second by Bullock. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Hearing none, is there a motion to recommend the bill favorable with amendments? Favorable with amendments. Moved by Dorsey and second by Ramos. Chair Middleton, yes. Bullock? Yes. Is a yes. Conway is an excused absence. Dorsey? Yes. Is a yes. Glover? Yes. Is a yes. Ramos?
Yes.
Is a yes. And Stokes has an excused absence. This bill will move to second reader at the next council meeting. The next bill to vote on that we've already had a hearing for was bill number 23-0390, and that was a transit-oriented development Penn Station. for the purpose of supporting a state transit-oriented development designation for Penn Station, the area surrounding and including Baltimore Penn Station, and providing for a special effective date. This bill was introduced on May 15th, 2023, and the bill was sponsored by President Mosby on behalf of the administration. The committee heard reports from the agencies at the first hearing on this bill. And do the agency representatives have anything to add before we vote? And yes,
Madam
Jeff?
Chair, Jeff Hochstetler with the Law Department. This had the same proposed amendments as the previous bill we just discussed.
Okay. Any questions on those amendments? Hearing none. The committee also heard public testimony at the first hearing on the bill, or had an opportunity for people to speak. Is there a motion to move the Law Department's amendments for this bill? Yes. So moved by Dorsey and second by Glover. All those in favor say aye. 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 Opposed, nay. Hearing none, is there a motion to recommend the bill favorably with amendments? Yes. Moved by Dorsey and second by Ramos. Chair Middleton is a yes. Bullock is a yes. Conway excused absent. Dorsey is a yes. Glover is a yes. Ramos is a yes. And Stokes an excused absent. And thank you for those two bills. And then we have two more transit-oriented development bills that we're going to quickly hear and also include in the voting. And this next bill is Bill number 23-0404, which is a transit-oriented development of Penn North. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop there because I want, yeah, I think that's the one we want to do first. Okay. For the purpose of supporting a state transit-oriented development designation for Penn North, the area surrounding and including the Penn North Metro Subway Link Station, and providing for a special effective date. This bill was introduced on June 26, 2023, this early afternoon. This bill was sponsored by President Mosby, also on behalf of the administration. The committee will now hear from the agency representatives that would like to say something about this, and we'll start with the City Solicitor's Office.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jeff Hochstetler with the City Law Department. Law Department does approve this bill for form and legal sufficiency.
Thank you. Any comments for the Law Department? Hearing none. And I see Transportation also has joined us. Would you kindly just go over this transit-oriented development as much as you can?
Absolutely, Madam Chair, and thank you. And I'm also joined by my colleague, James Turner here, who is covering, so it was a bit tardy. Technically, I was off today, but wanted to be here to make sure these bills made it through. So essentially what we're trying to do is similar to the previous two bills that were just voted out of committee, where we're going through the formal process as outlined by state law to designate areas surrounding Penn North Metro Station as being eligible as being officially designated as TOD under state law. And this really opens up those surrounding areas and communities for incentives to really invest and redevelop those areas and really leverage our existing transit infrastructure. This is a comment for this bill and the next bill that we're going to hear, but a lot of times we hear of the lack of transit assets in Baltimore City compared to our Northeast peer cities like Boston, New York, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. But the truth remains that we haven't really done a great job leveraging the transit assets that we do have. That's what this legislation is looking to do. So this is a really critical part of the city, a lot of history, at that north side of Pennsylvania Avenue where it hits North Avenue. And we respectfully request a favorable committee vote today. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other agency that would like to comment on this particular bill? Housing?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Stephanie Murdoch, Director of Legislative Services for DHCD. We stand by our bill report, which is favorable. We believe that transportation upgrades can help stabilize neighborhoods and connect communities, and we asked for a favorable bill report. Thank you.
Thank you. And could you make sure that we get a copy for the file, that Matt gets a copy? Okay, thank you. DPW, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, Madam Chair. Marcia Collins, representing Department of Public Works. We're here in support of this legislation and the next bill also. And we actually filed reports because when we had our prior hearing, my reports were late. So we wanted to make sure you got them today, and we're here in support. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I do want to recognize Councilman Stokes, member of the committee. There is opportunity for public testimony, so if you're looking at this hearing and you want to submit something in writing, please feel free to do that, and you can submit that to Matt Peters in Council Services. Is there a motion to recommend the bill?
Madam Chair, I just have one quick question.
Yeah, yes, Councilwoman Ramos.
I just wanted to make sure, I think I'm right here, that the amendments that you had, that the Law Department had suggested for the previous two bills are already integrated into the first reader of these?
That's correct.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that that was the case. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and then just to add, so there's no amendment for this specific bill or the next one. So is there a motion to recommend the bill favorably? Yes. So moved by Dorsey and second by Glover. Chair Middleton, yes. Bullock? Yes. Yes. Conway, excused absence. Dorsey is a yes. Glover is a yes. Ramos is a yes. And Stokes is a yes. And this bill will move to second reader at the next council meeting. Bill number 23-0405, the Transit-Oriented Development North Avenue for the purpose of supporting a state transit-oriented development designation for North Avenue, the area surrounding and including the light rail link station, and providing for a special effective date. This bill was introduced on June 26, 2023, earlier today. This bill was sponsored by President Mosby on behalf of the administration, and we'll now hear from agency representatives and start with City Solicitor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jeff Hochstetler with the City Law Department. Law does approve this bill for form and legal sufficiency.
Thank you. And Transportation, would you like to make comments before we move further?
Yes, Madam Chair. Thank you. Similar to the last bill, obviously, in the previous few bills, again, we're going through this legislative exercise as part of a process to formally designate this area as being an official TOD area under state law. And again, this one is for North Avenue Light Rail Station. And I want to also mention that the designation in this area makes sense not just for the light rail station being here, but also for the recent investments in North Avenue Rising which was a significant investment by the city and the state to improve transit access along the corridor. So this is another natural, logical place to apply the designation, to really take advantage of this state program to really invest in communities that have been underserved historically. And with that in mind, we respectfully request a favorable vote out of committee today. Thank you.
Thank you, and we also have support from DPW and Housing and Community Development. And again, if you would like to, if anyone would like to submit public testimony for this bill, you can do so by submitting that through an email in writing to Council Matt Peters and Council Services. Is there a motion to recommend this bill favorable? Yes. So moved by Dorsey. Second by Ramos. Chair Middleton, yes. Bullock? Yes. Is a yes. Conway, excused absence. Dorsey? Yes. Is a yes. Glover? Yes. Is a yes. Ramos? Yes. Is a yes. Stokes? Yes. Is a yes. This bill will also move to second reader. And I just want to thank everyone for attending today's voting session and hearing, and the committee is now adjourned.